Okay, here's a good question for you. Why doesn't the government spend $2 billion improving the safety of bicycles instead of spending $2 billion improving the safety of cars? The answer is because if you spend $2 billion improving the safety of bicycles, you won't save anywhere near as many lives as if you spend that $2 billion into making cars more safe. Now that's what the government does. They make an evaluation for a given safety and health initiative on, what's it actually going to do? Does it represent the best social return for the buck? And if they don't operate like that, then you'll end up with a gross misallocation of resources, and many more people died that didn't have to die. That's the effect of it. Loosely speaking, the government spends about $30,000. Well, this is how much they, in monetary terms, they rate the value of a single year of your life, saving it. It's about $30,000 a year in terms of monetary investment to optimize your safety and your health. Unless, of course, you're Māori, then it might be more like $40,000 a year that they spend, because New Zealanders don't actually understand what institutional racism is. Had to say that. So, the next question is, so how exactly did they evaluate the COVID-19 investment? Was it, in terms of the $140 billion spent, actually worth it for the number of lives saved, the quality of the lives saved per year? Almost certainly, overwhelmingly, maybe by a factor of 100 or more, no. It was absolutely horrific investment to quarantine everyone so as to shut down the economy, rather than simply quarantining the very old and vulnerable like we do for every other pandemic. But the thing is, that calculation was never even made in the first place. It didn't go through the cost-benefit analysis. I mean, maybe there's an argument for shutting everything down in the earliest stages until we know what we're dealing with, but not in the later stages. In the later stages, you pull out the calculator, bring in the economists and say, oh my God, is this actually worth it? And if you think I'm being heartless when I say that, just remember the example I made with the push bikes versus cars. And also know this, after spending that kind of money, and going forward in the future, and this is true, it won't be $30,000 we invest in the health and safety per person, it'll be more like $20,000, because we're a poorer country. Poorer countries cannot spend, they don't have the money left to invest in other things. That's the meaning of the disoptimized investment. We're all much more likely to die of a car accident now, or die of cancer, or anything else, or die of a home that is damp and ghastly because we can't afford to insulate it because we spent all our money elsewhere. So again, the question is, what was the actual optimized investment? What was the right thing to invest? The government never considered it. They never ran through that calculation. It was all politics. Heated, hot politics. Jacinda Ardern herself actually said, we never considered going for herd immunity. What? You didn't even run it through the calculator? You didn't even quantify it? This is what happens when you have someone that's got the mentality of a teenage schoolgirl running the country. I doubt Jacinda Ardern even thought like this in the first place. She really probably thought she was doing the right thing, because she's so bloody naive to the real hard work of the calculations and the economics of running a damn country. Sooner or later, New Zealand is going to have this conversation, and so will the world. It's going to be about running it through the calculator. Because if you want, even if you make religion out of health and safety, remember this, and I'll stress it one more time. No longer are we going to be spending $30,000 per person per year in improving their health and safety. We're going to be spending $20,000 now, because we already spent all the money on a hyper-exaggerated scare. And not only that, but that hyper-exaggerated scare didn't even quantify the lack of well-being and the loss of quality of life and all the health problems that come from the shutdowns in themselves and the unemployment. Absolutely shocking policy, grotesque levels of politicization, and some have even called it a crime against humanity. Insofar as those calculations were completely ignored, the cost-benefit calculations ignored, that's not an unfair assertion. It is actually a crime against humanity. Thank you.